What's up, I'm travel photographer Brendan Vanson of brendansadventures.com, and today I've got a big announcement. We're going to Morocco. You can come along with me. Stay tuned to find out how. Okay, so it's announcement day finally today, and we are announcing, as I mentioned in the brief intro, that we're running our next photography tour and workshop in Morocco. Now the start date of that tour is February 6th, 2016, and we're going to start and finish that tour in the beautiful city of Marrakesh. So it's going to be an awesome trip, 13 days all over Morocco. Morocco is easily one of the most photogenic countries I've ever been. You've got Medinas, you've got mosques, you've got the really colorful people, you've got the Berber villages, and then you've got the landscapes. You've got the Sahara Desert Gorge, you've got the High Atlas Mountains. It's just really an incredible country to photograph, and I'm absolutely stoked to be shooting it again. On this workshop, I'm going to be bringing along my good friend and fantastic photographer and instructor, Jeff Bartlett, with me. So it's going to be Jeff and I running this tour, and I promise you, this one's going to be good. We're going to have some fun in Morocco, we're going to get some great images in Morocco, and we're going to have a bit of an adventure too. If you're wondering what a photography workshop and tour is, I guess the simplest way to describe it is take your traditional tour, take your traditional adventure tour that has, you know, a driver, a guide, and a group, and then add a photography spin to it. So we're going to be taking you to all the right places at the right light, at the right time of day, and we're not going to rush you to take your pictures. We're going to be shooting images. The purpose of the trip is to have a bit of an adventure, but also to get great images out of it. Now the workshop angle comes in when on location. Jeff and I will be giving you instruction, we'll be helping you through your cameras. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there's always something you can learn with another professional out in the field. So we're going to guide you through how to shoot certain locations, how we shoot certain locations, and maybe give you some creative advice. There's also going to be time on the tour for one-on-one time with Jeff and I. So in those times we might do photo critiques, we might show you some photo editing techniques. Yeah, we might just help you through your camera. If you're a real beginner and you don't know how to use your camera properly or how to get the most out of your camera, we'll walk you through how to get the most out of your camera. We'll take you through that process. And it is a huge learning experience. On our trip in Peru that we just ran this May, we had everybody from beginners to people that were absolutely professionals in certain niche areas of photography looking to expand their game. And I believe that every single person on that tour, whether a pro or a beginner, really learned something. Some people were hardly able to use their camera when they started the trip, and by the end of the trip they were shooting manual mode and grabbing some absolutely fantastic images. So yeah, that's the workshop and tour angle of this photography run in Morocco. So you're probably wanting to know about the itinerary, and you should want to know about the itinerary, and let me tell you, the itinerary is awesome. 13 days in Morocco, we see a lot of it, and it really doesn't feel that rushed. I think we have a fantastic trip planned for you. And one of the beautiful things about this trip is we're not using any public transportation. We have our own driver, an English-speaking driver who's going to be ripping us around the country, and that's a really cool thing to have in Morocco. This tour starts, as I mentioned, in Marrakesh on February 6th. And so participants will arrive on day one on their own time. And basically we'll just meet that day in the afternoon, get to know each other, have a couple drinks. And then on day two of the tour, we're in Marrakesh again. We have a full day of touring around Marrakesh. So we'll see the Medina, we'll see the old mosque, we'll see the shops, the souks. And yeah, we'll have a complete full day in Marrakesh with a guide taking us around, shooting tons of images there. On day three, we move all the way across the country. It's a long driving day, but we see a lot on that day. We stop in Casablanca. In Casablanca, we'll see the old mosque, which is amazing. We'll stop in Rabat, the capital, and we'll see the King's Palace, which is also amazing. And then we continue on to Chefchaouen. In Chefchaouen on day four, that's probably my favorite place in all of Morocco. It is just spectacular. It's the city that's completely painted in blue. And so there's all these alleyways, these cool little nooks and crannies, and everything is absolutely photogenic. It's up in the Rif Mountains as well, so you've got really cool landscapes up there as well. On day 5 in Chefchaouen, after we've explored for a full day, we'll climb up a hill above it, we'll shoot it at sunrise, and then we'll continue on to Fez. On the way to Fez, we're going to see ancient Roman ruins. We'll also stop in the beautiful city of Meknes, which is a really underrated city in Morocco that tourists kind of skip for some reason. But it's a cool city, got a cool Medina there as well. On day 7, we're in Fez, and Fez is amazing. It's got this massive Medina, which is one of the largest walled cities in the world. It's also got very, very few cars there, so it's all walking. It's all these narrow little alleyways filled with souks and shops and mosques and interesting characters. It's a really phenomenal place. That's also where the tanneries are, so we're gonna see those tanneries. We'll photograph them from above. You'll get cool shots there for sure. Fez is incredibly photogenic. So on day 7, you're completely free in the city of Fez. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can head out and explore the Medina. You can go for a massage or a spa day, or you can do some photo editing. And we'll obviously have one-on-one sessions with Jeff and I at our hotel there in Fez as well. So day 7 in Fez is just a free day. It's a day for you to relax, to catch up, maybe catch your breath after a couple really busy days shooting photos. After Fez, we continue towards the Sahara Desert. So on that day, we cross the Middle Atlas Mountains. We check out some Berber villages, see some really beautiful scenery on the way, and then we get to the edge of the Sahara Desert and spend our first night right in the dunes in the Sahara. So we'll get some great sunset photos of the dunes. The next day, we'll have the chance to go up the dunes and right into the dunes. So we have an optional 4x4 ride through the dunes. And in the evening, if you want, there's also an option to go on a 2-hour camel ride way in deep into the Sahara Desert, where we'll do some amazing nighttime photography. If you're into star photography, we'll have that opportunity to shoot some star photography in the Sahara Desert that evening, and that should be awesome. So on day 10, we leave the Sahara right in the morning after sunrise and after breakfast, and we head through Todra Gorge to get to Datis Gorge. Datis Gorge is absolutely incredible, and you've got these winding roads that kind of just go straight down into the valley. It's a really, really cool place, and as I mentioned, we'll spend the night in Datis Gorge at a Kasbah, and it will be absolutely stunning there. On day 11, we make our way along the route of 1,000 Kasbahs. It's stunning, a stunning drive to get to the High Atlas Mountains. And we'll spend the night there in the High Atlas Mountains. We'll have the chance to photograph some of the beautiful landscapes there, and as well as the Berber villages that are up there in the High Atlas Mountains. It's an absolutely stunning place. On day 12, we spend the morning in the High Atlas Mountains again, exploring the landscapes, checking things out, before making our way back to Marrakesh. Then on day 13 in Marrakesh, the tour sadly ends and we say our goodbyes after breakfast. So the price for the trip is $2,999 US, and that includes your breakfast and dinner on the trip. So you'll have 12 breakfasts and dinners covered. You have to cover your own lunch, but I think it's fantastic to not have to worry about your own breakfast and dinner as well. On the Peru trip, only breakfast was included, so that's a bit of a bonus on this trip here. What also is included is all your accommodation. The accommodation is 3-star the whole way. We might also be in some really cool riads in Marrakesh and Fez, depending on the size of the group, as they can only accommodate a certain amount of people, but definitely 3-star the whole way. It also includes your transport. As I mentioned early on, we have our own driver. So we have our own English-speaking driver and our own transport the whole time, which is fantastic because we don't have to chase buses. We can leave when we want. We can go where we want. It's absolutely fantastic to be able to do it that way. What else is included? Included is the entrance fees to all the attractions that are included on the tour, as well as your guide in the city. So we'll have a guide with us in Fez, in Chefchaouen, and in Marrakesh. So it's really nice having a guide in Morocco, not only just to tell you about the history and the culture and about the place, but to be able to communicate with people on the ground level, to talk about getting a photo and to maybe work out deals with people and to set up a couple photos. So it's fantastic to have a guide in cities like that. Also is included, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, also included is the tip for those guides, so you don't have to worry about that. What's not included on the trip are your flights to get to and from Morocco, obviously, as well as your airport transfers to the hotel. But of course, we can arrange that for you. As I mentioned, your lunch also is not included on the trip, so you have to cover your own lunch, as well as your own snacks and beverages and things like that. So of course you're probably wondering how you can book because I've just sold this so well, right? It is gonna be awesome, I promise you. You're going to want to join this trip, and there should be information hovering around there somewhere for you to click on. That'll take you over to my website, brendansadventures.com, and the page with all the info in depth, as well as a downloadable PDF. And of course, the links to book the trip with me. We're taking on a maximum of 12 passengers on this trip. We had 10 in Peru, and that was a great number. So we're hoping for about that number again. The minimum number is 4 participants on this trip, which I'm sure we'll get. This trip is going to be awesome. We're going to fill it up and we're going to sell it out. It's going to be a great group. I'm excited to go shooting with Jeff, who, as I mentioned, is an old buddy. And yeah, if you can come along with me, click on this link and get a little bit more information. And if you can't come with me, but you want to join future trips, be sure to subscribe to this channel where I'll be giving you a lot more info on upcoming trips and tours, which will be happening in 2016 and beyond. And if you really want to stay in tune with everything, be sure to head over to brendansadventures.com. On the sidebar of the website, there's a sign-up sheet for my newsletter. There you get, for sure, the most up-to-date information on workshops and tours and happenings around the world. So thanks for taking the time to watch the video today. I'm so excited for Morocco, you can't even understand it. And I'm excited for the opportunity of you to come join me and Jeff in Morocco. It's gonna be an absolute blast, so I hope to see you there. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.